Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey,
How you doing today?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
You sound very excited. I heard the that was, I mean, like that's hype.
Yeah.
You're hyped?
Woo, woo.
You seem so hyped. How was your week, man?
Man, it was another week.
They happen, right?
Yeah, they
the
happened
whole thing.
Monday and then Tuesday
And Tuesday, yeah.
and then Wednesday after that. So on and so forth. It's all right, man. It's all right. Back to the grind and just implementing crazy things at work and new technologies and guns that scan
that's fun.
items.
That's fun.
No.
I
mean, yeah, I guess.
I've been designing stuff with a QR code so that other people can scan it because I need to figure out how to sell merch. At a live show, because live shows are coming back.
Yeah, that's actually really exciting,
which is very exciting
and terrifying at the same time.
Also terrifying. Yeah.
I have tickets for some shows, and I'm like, boy, these are GA shows.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder if like any of you guys that are listening, like if you're having any kind of these like mental conflicts where like on one side you're super excited because things are happening, and on the other side you're like low-key terrified because you're like, wait, am I doing the right thing? Am I okay going to this? And then it's weird being on the side of it where you're putting on the show too, because I'm concerned about the people that are coming to see us. Yeah. And I'm concerned about, are we doing anything? Are we doing this too soon? Are we doing this, I just don't know. So it's like one of those terrifying things. Yeah. But then on the other side, I'm like so psyched relieved to be able to get on a stage and happy sounded sad songs.
I was talking to Mickett from Rivals this week, and they just recently had their first show back, and I know you were having the like conundrum of merch and how to deal with it, and how are things and how do they work moving forward and stuff like that. And he was saying that a lot of stuff is just very much the old way of doing things, where it's like but
Annie's doing the same thing.
The only thing is that you do have to just be like, listen, this shirt is yours. Right. Know your size.
You've now touched it.
You can't go.
I'm not laundering all my shirts because everyone touched them and I put them back in the bin.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Annie the same way. Annie and Mickett, both previous guests. If you guys are new listeners, you can run back and check out.
Go to the archives.
Both of them in the archives and check that out. Great interviews with both. Well, Annie was in studio with us. She was our first in studio guest, and Mickett was, I think, probably our first one of the first remotes of like a pretty big artist. Yeah. That we did like a long form interview with. Which was pretty awesome.
I was also talking to him. Mickett has a podcast now called Not Another Star Wars Podcast, I believe, or just another Star Wars podcast. Nice. I should probably figure that out.
Yeah, you should probably have the right one.
But that being said, we will eventually be doing a crossover episode.
I can't wait. I can't wait to have him back on, just because I feel like we've gotten a little bit better at talking to people.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, well, we're able to like condense things down just a little bit. Yeah. He was a two-parter.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, we didn't shut up.
Yeah.
Speaking of talking to people.
Yeah.
And also even like coming back and stuff like that. We have a excellent interview today with Kade Katz.
Yeah.
Singer of Throw the Fight.
Yep.
And solo artist, Kade Katz.
Yeah. Really cool. I've been listening to Throw the Fight for quite some time now. Mm-hmm. And he's been with the band since 2015. Started out as a bassist, and just like a lot of our own situations and even some of our guests, like Skaggs from Outline and Color, just you become the singer out of necessity, and someone needs to do it, and you're the guy. You're capable. Yeah, absolutely. So we have a really cool discussion about songwriting and how things are working now in the new pandemic era, and how he treats music now. And
he's an interesting one.
He's a lot of fun.
He really is. He's kind of deep too. Like when you start talking to him, it's kind of like you got to kind of crack the egg a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because, not that he's not forthcoming, just that I think he's very direct. And so it's kind of like, all right, so let's dig a little deeper. And it was cool because we really got into like just having a cool conversation and laughing about stuff and talking about everything from like songwriting to cooking to, you know, him and you and your children.
Yeah.
And like a lot of really cool stuff that he opened up a lot, which I haven't necessarily heard in some of the other interviews that I've listened to by like when I was researching.
Right.
So it was really cool to kind of like get to know him a little bit on a personal level. Yeah. And figure out what his bacon is.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool.
Which is cooking and music and
his kid. He's a true,
his family.
He is a true artist songwriter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome to me. Just because I've dealt with writer's block and I've dealt with not being motivated and not having an outlet that I felt was working, and he hasn't. He's been able to consistently just kind of be like, hey man, that's my thing, I'm going to do it. And like he says,
not just 1-2 projects.
Yeah. Like he says in the interview, he talks about like flexing that muscle, which is really cool, but we should stop talking about it.
Yeah, now we're getting to like spoiler alert.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna shut up and we're gonna let you guys hear it.
Spoiler alert. So
check it out, enjoy, and follow and share Throw the Fight, and follow and share Kade Katz. We're gonna have all of his stuff is in the description. So check that out, and we're gonna start it when
after we say promo code BACON at grillyourassoff.com. Poddex.com,
Wild Bills,
drinkwildbills.com,
drinkwildbills.com,
and promo code BaconPod at sportslegacysubs.com. Also, thanks to the Patreons.
Yeah, shout out to our Patreons
for enjoying our show commercial free every week, and
all the other shows like Tasting and Cooking With.
Yeah,
we talk about that a little bit in this
our interactive live streams.
Yeah.
So head on over to the Patreon. You can be a part of the BIMP squad as well.
That's right.
I think we should start it now.
Oh, okay.
No. What were you just saying? We're starting it now.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
All right, so we just played the fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw our new sponsor next to us at the fair.
Right.
Any of you that have ever been to festivals, one of the coolest spots to go to is that spot that's selling you sodas where the copper mugs.
Oh, they're the best.
Wild Bills, dude.
Yes, and you don't just have to go to a fair to get their stuff anymore. You can go to drinkwildbills.com. And they'll send it right to your house.
They sent that ginormous box to us.
Huge box.
Yeah.
Of stuff, and it made me realize that Wild Bill's isn't just soda.
Yeah, I thought it was at first, but man, the jerky and
nuts and coffee.
Oh man, snack foods, coffee, everything.
And if you go there now, drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, of course, and you get 10% off.
Oh. Dude, check it out. Stick with us because we're going to be letting you know how that coffee tastes. We're going to be doing some tasting episodes on literally everything in the box.
Yes.
So stick with us. But, dude, you've had it. You've been at fairs. I've bought it. I bought that mug. It's awesome. I love it.
And now, again, we're heading into the winter months. It's going to get a little colder. No more fairs. Just have it delivered right to your door.
Drinkwildbills.com.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say. Once. Check it out. Promo code BACON.
I am Flo Shomo from My Top 5 podcast, and you have been listening This is what happens when I have to do intros to our podcast, you bastards. You're just
It's
watching.
total red light panic. I love it.
We love it.
I'm
No
Flesh
pressure.
Homo. Oh, you just interrupted me. Now you just interrupted the swing. Who is this guy?
You
Who
need to
is this
shut
guy?
your mouth.
I'm Flesh Homo from My Top 5 Podcast, and you've been consuming Bacon is My Podcast.
What's going on, guys? Today is a very special day.
He's got his voice on. You know, it's
I have my radio voice on.
You have your voice on.
It's a little bit lower, as opposed to my husband voice, which is hey.
Well, one shows authority and the other shows submission.
Submission, yeah, very submissive. So today we have Kade Katz, solo artist and singer of the band Throw the Fight. What's going on, man?
Not much. Hanging with you guys. Happy to be here.
Where are you coming to us from?
Minneapolis, Minnesota. Just my house, hanging out.
I think you mean Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, yeah.
Minneapolis, yeah.
It's a lot of things right now. We won't get into that, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
Very cool, very cool. So you guys are like starting to release some singles and stuff like that, and now you're releasing a lot of music yourself.
Yes.
It seems like just constant flow of new videos and stuff like that coming from your solo thing. So what's the plan as far as getting out there and starting to play again and all that?
Yeah, it's a lot. You know, with everything that happened last year, lucky enough, like we just pivoted and made a ton of music, right? Yeah. And that was like the goal. And you know, we had things scheduled, me and my solo stuff, and even the band, and all that got pushed aside. So we were just like, what can we take control of? And even myself, it's like I have all these songs. I'm just gonna start putting them out, and then along with Throw the Fight, we put together a bunch of different pieces and just started releasing them. And it worked for our schedule. We didn't really have to see each other, so to speak. It was the first time we like ever created music from afar. I was really the only one that went into the studio physically and with a producer, my buddy Jeremy Turk. He's been doing all of our like new singles, and then he's producing all my solo stuff. So yeah, it was just like have all this music and might as well just put it out there. And now that's kind of just a game plan. I've got new solo stuff that comes out October 1st, and then I drop another one I think like the 18th. So it'd been a few months, and I kind of pivoted and started working on a lot more Throw the Fight stuff. We did have a couple shows, thank God. And so then I've it's kind of fall, and my vibe is the fall, and kind of just releasing my songs I feel fit that more season, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna drop a couple of those in October, and another one I'll wrap up this week, hopefully for like November, December. So for me, I just want to keep putting music out, and I have the accessibility to do it, and I'm gonna create the music anyway, so might as well just release it. 10 people could hear it, or 1,000. It's just like the songs are gonna come. Makes me happy. It's my deal.
For sure. Well, it's cool. It seems like you're very prolific as a writer, just from reading a little bit into like when you took over vocal duties for Throw the Fight, how you pretty much had a solo record written, and then you kind of pivoted it into some of it.
It totally hit me sideways. I was not expecting that at all. I mean, for the better. I'm like, thank God. But it just it was kind of like, all right, total focus within a month to create new lyrics and melodies for an album that was already finished, that I already wrote some of that. So I was like, how do I rewrite something I already fucking wrote? And I like that, But yeah, and with that, it was just like so quick to just get everything turned around and out because it waited so long.
Now, how do you kind of distinguish what's going to be a Throw the Fight song and what's going to be a Kade Katz song? Because there's some similarities in them, writing style, like lyrically and mood, and it's rock music,
one way or the other.
But sonically, there's definitely some differences too. There's definitely you take some different directions, take some different risks for both. That I've noticed.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the goal, and that's one reason you know, people may ask like, why are you doing even a solo deal? Don't you have Throw the Fight? And it's like, for me, they're two separate identities. And to me, naturally, writing my own stuff just flows out of me. I'll write songs and they're done fairly quick. You know, when lightning strikes, so to speak. And I'm just quick to like go in. I know all the sounds, everything that I want already. So I can finish it really quick versus like Throw the Fight takes some time. And there's a process, and it's great because like Chris, our guitarist, will just send me riffs and like some pre-pro drums that are pretty basic, you know, it's garage band stuff. Yeah. Just enough for me to hear like, do I hear a melody or anything that like grabs me, which is cool. And then because he writes a little bit heavier, he can do the heavier stuff. I don't know, I'm pretty laid back when I'm writing my stuff. Like playing like fast stuff and riffy stuff, like I kind of just phased out of it. It's really weird. My past bands and stuff with like screamo, post-hardcore, and you just kind of had that like grit. I don't know. And for me, it's just so easy to write a song that's like a couple chords, you know, my little flows in there and simple melodies, and like really challenging myself to sing differently is the big thing. There's a lot more freedom, I feel.
Yeah, I noticed it. I play guitar and sing also for a band that I'm in, and I noticed, and I did a similar thing where I did a whole solo record that was a complete like just acoustic.
I love that
guitar record also, and it was interesting doing it because, like you say, like doing that opens up things, and it does challenge you as a singer because it's kind of like now you've got to fill some spaces that you normally wouldn't have to fill, you know, or you get to not have to, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's really weird. I get asked this question quite a bit, and I don't know. To me, it's like left brain, right brain. Like left brain's like all my solo stuff, like just comes, and then when I need to do the Throw the Fight stuff, it's like a totally different. I don't even know what the fuck happens. Sometimes I'm just like, all right, I'm singing this way, I'm doing this way, and I have two separate notepads. I have like a ton of notes on my phone. I'm a psycho, and I have Cats, which is just like quick words or quick lyrics or whatever, and then I have like a Throw the Fight file, and they're like, if anyone were to read them, they'd be like, there's some similarities, but they're just like they're totally different. It's like
do you have,
my
a different process? Do you have a different process for both? Because that's interesting, I think, that you have, because again, like there's a similarity there in just that I have those two things, and it's funny because a lot of people will think that oh, you did a solo record, is that all stuff that the band said no to? Or they'll think like, is that all throwaway stuff? It's like, no, it's not. It's got a different purpose in mind, and it's got a different feel. So are you writing the things in different ways? Is your process different?
Yeah, I mean, my solo stuff just comes, I'll just start writing on acoustic guitar, and then if I get like a quick melody and the hook right away, you know, I'll play with that for a couple days, and then I know that that's one. You know, I've caught something, and then, you know, I'll just kind of work on it and get it where it needs to be. Throw the Fight stuff, it's like I said, people, you know, Chris will send me stuff, and there might be a couple of like jams or riffs that I'll have. They'll be like, okay, I could present this to the band. This is more like our upbeat, fast stuff. I mean, my solo stuff is so slow. Sometimes it's just like, you know, but you know, there's definitely been songs where I've showed the guys or whatever, and they dig it, and you're like, fuck, you know, it's actually for me. But
oh yeah, I've dealt with that before.
right.
To
me, they're just two separate things, like which is good and bad, because it's just like it stylistically it's similar, but it's kind of a different element. And it's like I'm just wanting to challenge myself, and like I can only hold myself back on trying stuff. You know, you don't have to get permission and all that stuff, which I mean, we work together fucking fantastically, but you know what I'm saying, like I'm an only child, so I want my way.
I find like you know, even like, so the band I'm doing now is more of a, I mean, I wrote a record, and then I asked people, hey, like, you want to come and play? And then, you know, I kind of let some people in, and then I'm used to everybody getting into a room and jamming and stuff like that. And then this was very much like the opposite of that. It was like, okay, well, I have this, like you said, I have the sounds already ready to go and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then I started grabbing some of the, you know, some of the influence from other people, and it was just kind of like, all right, maybe we should do something else. Let's do something else together, and not this. Yeah.
I mean, I would kill the old days when you're in a room and you're practicing your ass off, and now it's like we practice twice before we have to show, and that's it. Everything's like digital, which, you know, it's so, you know, pretty. I miss it, but you know, there is some freedom too, where it's just like things can get together pretty quick and timely fashion if you are creating and wanting to release a bunch of stuff.
Right.
How much of the like some of the new stuff that you're putting out, how much of it have you actually played live before putting it on a record?
So for Throw the Fight, we released The Fallout, and we got to play that live a couple times now. Thank God. We have a new one that comes out at the end of this month, September 24th, called Wake Up. And we either had like, we finish it and release it, or we have to like cut down the stem so we could perform it live. And we're like, well, shit, we really need to get something in the pipeline. So it was like one or the other, just for time crunch.
Right.
But yeah, we were really wanting to play that one live. I mean, we will hopefully eventually. So, but you know, a year or 2 years ago, I mean, did 2020 happen?
Yeah, no,
we performed the first show with me as vocalist, and we played a bunch of stuff off Cellular Sins, and I think we played Wolves in the Dark, and then the world shut down. So then coming back, we played a show in South Dakota, and then Rockfest the weekend after. So that was like my third time as like front man again. And you know, with that, we played pretty much all Settle Your Sins, and that's a record that was supposed to come out, you know, during the shit show, but it did come out in August. And then we played Wolves in the Dark, The Fallout, and a couple oldie goodies. But yeah, I mean, our goal is to just continue putting out singles at the time, and then we have a ton of stuff on pre-pro right now that we've got some producers that we want to work with. So we're kind of just collecting those and feeling like what's best, and then see what happens for, you know, early next year. And then either, I mean, we can do whatever we want, which is so nice as bands and artists, and the freedom is unbelievable. And just see if we want to release them as projects or little singles or whatever we want to do. But yeah, that's kind of like our, you know, with everything that did happen, we did start finding like a workflow that works for everyone. And we're like, oh shit, you know, like, you know, we're old school. Like, we all have families and kids, and, you know, for us to grind the road and all that stuff we spent, and I just came to terms with this, and I'm old as shit. So for me, it was like, do you want to continue just like grinding and grinding, hoping to get like these tours and, you know, break that ceiling or whatever? Right. And then it was like, you know, if we're putting out, people want to hear us. You know, thankfully we have like a solid monthly numbers of listeners, and it's always new to somebody, right? And we're like, we can just stay home no matter what and release stuff, and then the whole world can hear it. And, you know, yeah, if you do get to see us, we're like, you know, few and far between, but, you know, when we do, we're slamming. But we're just like, this works for us, so why not? And then, like you guys said, with the videos, like, we're super proud of the videos and how we put them together. And it's just like, that's a whole other element of us as a band, which has been pretty gnarly, really.
Yeah, you guys definitely have some really really cool videos too.
We work with some talented people, thank God, and you know, they're just so talented. Like that type of creativeness and those people knowing all that stuff is totally different realm. So mad respect to those people that do it, and they kill it for us.
Now, are you guys going into the process of doing videos with any kind of a plan already for what you want the video to be, or are you kind of like jumping in the room with some creative people and kind of letting them take it where they're going to take it?
It's a little bit of both. Like we'll usually say, you know, here's 3 or 4 or 5 videos, references, and they'll come back with stuff, and then they'll hear the song and kind of figure out, you know, are the cameras going to circle? Are they going to, what are we looking for? Or if we're like, hey, let's just do some visual stuff, which, you know, that stuff's not cheap either. So, you know, we're like, we need to work with solid people, because you need to grab that people's attention, you know.
Right. You have very little time to do that.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of back and forth, and you know, it depends on our budget and what we're willing to do and spend our money on at that time. But ideally, like, release a song, release a video, and you get best of both worlds.
We talk about this all the time. I think the single is really the way to go nowadays, because you got a consistent flow of music, and then, you know, you treat everything like a record almost, and then, you know, like you guys, you're putting out videos, you know, consistently, as opposed to, you know, doing tour cycles and, you know, every 2 years,
a year, 2 years.
And it's just not. There's no more.
That's not comfortable. I'm old and bougie now, and I've got like a 1-year-old daughter, and like, I don't want to leave. You know, my fiance is amazing, so I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. I'll stay here and write and record, and you know, if we go do fly dates and do some of that stuff, great. Like, I would love to work with the best producers and learn from their craft. You know, I would kill for that. Like, we worked with Carson and Grant, and what I took away from that each time is, you know, I didn't go to college, but I could say I did. After watching those dudes.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I feel like you said, you put something out and the world sees it. You know, we're not talking about, you know, you guys aren't playing like club gigs and stuff like that, but like you're doing more festivals. But like, I was talking about it with my wife earlier. I was just like, you know, like, especially post-pandemic, people are like, the venues are like, well, you owe us to play here. And it's like, no, I'm bringing you business.
Right.
So, you know,
it's really tough right now.
It's just like, you know what? I'd rather, like you said, I'll make music in here. I'll do live streams. I'll do videos, and you put it out and more people see it. And I didn't spend a dime.
Yeah. Well, the ability is there to see where a song or your music is really hitting to, and if you suddenly find this influx of fans and people supporting you from an area, you can always plan to go to that area and do a fly date there, get there.
Absolutely.
You know.
Analytics.
Yeah, I mean, for us too, it's like we spent all these years hoping and pushing our schedules and our entire lives back for like a potential tour, or it's gonna happen, and you're like, well, fucking cancel this year, you know, and significant others love that, and you're just like, but you know, you hopes and dreams, and now it's like, you know what, if people want to come to us, that's great. Like, I love playing live music, but you know, this works for us and our schedule, and for me, like, I love nothing more than let's say I just wrote a song, like I've got this little riff going, and, you know, put a little time into it, you know, a couple hours, a couple days, whatever, I can go in and start getting that thing rolling and, you know, pump it out hopefully in like a month and a half, just with, you know, scheduling, mixing, all that shit, and get that back and then put it in the pipeline. And I just wrote it, so it's new to me. We're like, dude, like, you write a record, like, Settle Your Sins, like, God, you know, love the record, but we were so fucking sick of it by the time it came out.
Like,
you're like,
years old.
And you know, which that's the old school way, and I get it, and there is something about that, but you know, for me, it's just like, this is fresh, this is what I'm feeling. Like, you'll hear something new, you know, every Friday there's a new single, and you'll hear like some production thing, you're like, oh, that's cool, I want to implement that some way. And you know, there's just so much. I digest a shitload of music, like, that's all I do. And so just like, then to go in the studio and kind of see what comes out subconsciously, you're just like, oh man, you know, it's kind of endless.
Yeah, it lets you stay kind of fresh with things, just like you're saying, you know, like,
and just you as a creative artist, like,
yeah,
I'm always trying to be fucking better, almost to fault. Like, it's just undeniable, but I'm just you're just, you know, it's like every time you go golf, I mean, you want to do better at golf or whatever it might be,
right.
And I'm competitive by nature, so it's just like, hey, you like this song? Fuck yeah, let's rock this one and see what happens, and you know, and just kind of
let's
roll
try
with
this
it.
style. Let's try this.
Yeah, I'm always wanting to push the buttons, and the guy's like, you know, it's a, you know, it's a give and take thing.
Right. Are you someone, because you're competitive and perfectionist and things like that, are you someone that when you're recording a song or writing a song, are you good at being like, okay, it's done? Or are you like,
yeah,
if someone didn't tell me it was done, I would tweak it for the next forever?
No, I pretty much, you know, when it's like ready.
You know when it's done, you're like, yeah.
I try not to overthink them. You know, it's got to come like the flow and everything pretty natural, and then sit on it for, you know, a couple weeks to spin it and see. Right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, usually, you know, I mean, we Throw the Fight, we don't do anything like too crazy outside the box. It's pretty simple rock formula, you know. So it's nice, but it's just like, now it's like trying to figure all these little parts in a shorter amount of time and just make it fucking slam.
You guys have definitely added more elements over the more recent stuff, you know what I mean, over the more recent music. So
yeah,
it's definitely some thought process going in there that's changing things and trying new things and stuff. How much of that do you think is due to you taking over as the singer, and how much of it is just everyone in the band just being like all kind of wanting to do that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we started taking influences from like Bring Me Horizon, Architects, like some of these bands started bringing that little element in, and I love that shit, and I love hip hop, and Jeff loves hip hop, so you know, I'm all about adding elements. But it really started with working with Jeremy Turk, you know, again, and he was messing with synth stuff, and I'm in there with him, messing with like arcade and all this stuff, and we just started dabbling with stuff, and we're like, oh, okay. So each song or something we were trying, we would just like add a little bit, because again, I don't know how the band feels about that stuff, and you know, you're just like testing the water, so to speak.
Right.
And
send it to them and be like,
I mean, because you know, some of it's just like they want to. It's a rock band, but now it's like, you know, sky's the limit with production stuff, and you know, adding piano, and like our new one that's coming out, it's got a lot of cool production. It's probably one of my favorites, and so I think it's a lot of that is just like Jeremy Turkey, like bringing that in as like almost a band member, and him and I go way back. We used to be in a screamo band together, and we just like work so well together. So we already kind of know, honestly, what like they're gonna come back with. So we think it through, and then like the next mix we might add something else, and just like
just piecemeal it in.
Yeah, I probably should admit that.
We can edit it out.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like having a producer that's almost like another band member, somebody that knows you, and knows your writing, and knows the band, and it's so valuable to have, because you get that outside ear, but they're also kind of on the inside too, you know? Yeah.
And like I said, him and I work so well together, and he knows some of the stuff I'm already thinking, and I just like, for instance, I have the solo song called So High, and I'm sitting in the back. He's like, I don't know what he was doing, programming drums or something, and it wasn't working out. And I'm like, dude, let me just like beatbox it. And he's like, oh, like you can fucking beatbox? And I was like, yeah, I can beatbox. And he's like, thinking I'm just high out of my mind. And he's like, you know, I'm like, no, dude. And so he plays the track, and I beatbox the whole thing, and he's like, holy shit. And so then he just programmed like the kick sample, the snare sample to that beat or whatever, and he's just like, oh, okay. Like he just basically dumbs it down. It's like, how can I dumb this down and make Kade do it, and you know, not have to do any work and listen to him? So I'll just like hum something, and he's like, all right, now beat it, nerd.
Right. Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Now
Don't go away. We'll be back right after these messages.
All right, Jimsy. You think grilling season is over?
Almost, right?
No.
No.
Grilling season is never over because of a new sponsor of ours.
Ooh, what is it?
GrillYourAssOff.com.
I love the name already.
Yeah. It's a veteran-owned company that sells spices, barbecue sauces, cool swag, even cookbooks.
Oh, you know what? You sent me a link to that. I checked it out. That was awesome. They had some cool recipes right on their site. That was pretty awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's for free. But now that they're a sponsor, they've decided that if you use the promo code BACON, you get 10% off your order.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm ready. I'm definitely ordering some spices. They had a couple that looked really killer.
Yeah, and it's really, there's so many different selections that there's really a spice for everybody. The guys that are like heat heads, and even the people that just want something subtle, delicious, sweet, whatever it is, they've got something for everybody.
Awesome. Did we order any? Did we have any coming?
We've got some coming.
Nice.
And we're going to do some tasting episodes over on the Patreon.
Awesome. So
with
stick
a little
around.
Bit of grill your ass off stuff.
Stick around, everyone, because once we get those in, we're going to taste them, we're going to go through them, and then we're going to let you know what we think, and maybe give you some choices that we would kind of go for.
So once again, head over to grillyourassoff.com, use that promo code BACON, and get 10% off.
Sweet.
This is Paul Mark from Silverstein, and you've been consuming, vegan or not, Bacon is My Podcast.
I tried to beatbox before. Everybody,
did you?
Yeah, I've tried, because when I first
I could see you being
started,
real good at it.
No,
that's my sarcastic voice.
Oh. As opposed to your radio voice.
As opposed to my radio voice.
Yeah,
I could see you being really good at it.
The first time that I was like a singer, singer, as opposed to like hiding behind a guitar.
Right.
When they pushed me out front with a mic, the first time I went, I was like, "Oh, that's a kick.
Yeah,
I could do this."
Yeah,
and no good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not the greatest beatboxer. It was basically a kick snare type vibe, and maybe like a quick hi-hat catch. But yeah.
Well, we're singers. We got to figure out how to communicate it somehow.
Yeah.
You know, I had violins on my last record, and I literally sung them into a mic, going "Ooh," like. And then sent it to a real violinist who had to discern what the hell I was doing with my mouth and then turn into something good.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what we got. That's what we can do.
Yeah, that's the best thing about the future right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You got to get in MIDI.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get him into MIDI for years and years, and he's still singing voice notes into a microphone to send to a violinist.
Dude, it's a slow process. Like I just last year invested in somewhat of a studio and all the things, and I kind of knew I was going to be home more as well, just having a new baby, and I was like, hey, I'm ready to dive in and take on this new chapter of like learning how to record and just doing that stuff on my own. I've been like so fortunate just for other people to do it, and I'm like, I don't know how long I have that and so this is the first time, like I said before, trying all this stuff out. It's like new gadgets, and I don't know what it is. You feel like the old man, like, God, fucking internet,
right.
And my fiance is like, younger than me, so I'm like, how do you work all this? And she's like, just calm down. I'm like, God, I just sound like one of my parents when it was this age. I'm like, get out of here.
I have the same thing, because I get so frustrated when, like, if there's something that's supposed to do something,
right,
it's a work. It's got one job to do, and it's not doing it, or I can't figure out why it's not doing it. Why is it not connecting? Why is this button not working?
And they're all about this size. Like, you're getting your ass kicked by shit like this all day.
I lose my mind. I lose my mind, and then I hear myself outside myself, and I start laughing at myself for how dumb I sound.
Yeah.
So then I'm in hysteria, losing my mind. Yeah. It's like an inception of it. It's ridiculous.
And then I call my therapist.
Right.
Well, see, he like, so I've been into like the recording stuff for a long time, and then he was kind of starting to like dip his toe in, and he was like, "Hey, so I wanted to get something that's a board, but then also works as a PA." And I was like, "Cool, like, yeah, I can help you out with it." And then he sends me this like 25 channel mixer gargantuan thing, and I'm like, that's big.
I researched myself into circles a lot.
Oh wow, yeah, I can't do that.
He also talked to his Sweetwater rep.
That's a mistake too. Yeah,
that's an issue.
Oh, they'll probably sell you everything.
Oh yeah, he sorted it all out for me.
I'm sure he did.
Oh yeah,
I was so sweet about it.
It was so great. Yeah,
but
good thing is I got some Smarties.
You got some candies.
I've never used them, surprisingly. Like, I've been like a loyal Guitar Center, or I've bought stuff back home from Montana, where I'm from. It's just like my iconic music store. It's the first one I ever entered, so you know, why not buy something in there once in a while?
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's GC all the way.
I have my local one at home. I grew up in Indiana. We're in New York now, but I grew up in Indiana, and I have my music store where like I got my first guitar and all that kind of stuff. And every time I go home, I'm in there and I'm like, I'll buy something. I'm just like, give me strings, like give me
anything.
I gotta get something. From
I gotta make my mark,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I try to do that with my local one. I don't know where my parents got my first guitar.
Yeah,
but my second guitar, where I know it came from, kind of assholes. So well,
you got your first from your grandfather.
Well, the first one
I heard an interview where it was like you were 5 or something and got it from your grandfather.
Yeah, so my grandpa always had a couple laying around, like a Fender Telly and then a Gibson hollow body, and so those are like the first ones I got to spend some time with.
It's a nice couple guitars.
Oh my god, which I had no fucking idea at that time.
Right,
and then fast forward to I think it was like 8 or 9. I think my parents bought me a Fender Strat for Christmas, I think, and then immediately I started taking lessons, and then I think my parents got me another one when I was like 16, another Fender Strat. Like I went through this phase because I wanted to be Stevie Ray Vaughan,
right?
and so Fender Strats, and then I started getting into Gibsons and got a Gibson Studio as a gift. And then, I've kind of been rolling with Gibson, Epiphone. Like, that's kind of my jam now.
Yeah, I'm a Gibson person myself, but I did get a Music Man that I was like,
that's a different story. Those are
insane.
Great. Yeah, that stuff's insane. Like,
yeah,
I had a bass that I used, and it ended up getting stolen with a bunch of other gear, but you can't beat it. Great stuff.
Was the Fender Strat? Did that show up on the Spork record?
You did your fucking homework. This is like way back. Honestly, it was a white pearl, Fender Strat. I still have it. And funny enough, as I broke my hand playing basketball, like dunking, and I slipped and like landed on my wrist.
Oof.
And I ended up like still playing guitar, and the demo that we like released, or tapes we were slinging out of our trunk, like I had recorded with like a cast and everything, and that like I just remember that somehow like had this fucking flashback, and I was like, oh my god, that was that time, because then I like used white nail polish to cover it up so my parents wouldn't be pissed. Because I wasn't even supposed to be like doing this movement or whatever,
right.
And I was like cutting. I'm like, how am I not going to play guitar? But we had quite a few tapes that went out there, and it was just fast hardcore punk, which I mean, it's still really catchy if I think of some of this shit.
So when I heard that, like a little bit about that story, it like gave me flashbacks.
Great name, right?
Excellent name.
Yeah.
But even you just saying now that like you had broken your arm, it's like we're kindred spirits in a way, because I was gonna ask about like because I have vivid flashbacks of sitting in my buddy's basement, who was my singer and I was a guitar player, and us making cassettes. We had like 3 cassette players rigged up together, and we were recording and flipping them and then like packaging them ourselves and all that. So I was going to ask you about that. But I also remember when we went in to record, I used to BMX, and I took a bad spill right down on my arm. And
Nasty.
I was like, I'm playing, man. I'm playing. We're still playing. That's what we're doing. That's how we do it.
It's rock and roll. I mean,
so I didn't break mine. I lucked out. I don't think I did. I still have a weird little bump here that never went away. But
yeah, for me, it was like I broke like this tiny ass bone in my wrist. And it was like crucial that I was in this cast for so long because it was like close to some nerves. Like I don't even know the true story because I don't think my parents wanted to tell me and terrify me. But yeah, and then you go do a cast checkup and they're like, "You sure you're not like cutting this?" And I'm like, "No, I'm like just playing guitar all the time, like
banging it on a guitar."
I'm like, "It's fine. What's a tiny bone?"
We just had an interview with a professional wrestler named Nick Aldis.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And he was talking about a bicep tear that he had, and when he got the tear, he was booked in Mexico. And so he had called ahead and said, "Hey, if you can put me with people that you trust and that aren't going to mess with me, and I'll still come do that before I get my surgery." And then he went to his doctor to get the surgery, and the doctor did the surgery and then brought him out and was like, "So you've been wrestling on this?" And he was like, and the guy was like, "You're a dumbass. What are you doing?" And he's like, "It's fixed. It's fine, but you're an asshole."
Yeah. So, I got that same lecture. Not to that scale. I mean, I was just a kid, but that's nuts.
When you love what you do, man.
Those guys are warriors. I mean,
absolutely.
I watched some of that behind the scenes stuff. I had to stop because it got so dark. It was on like Amazon or whatever. But man, that lifestyle, I mean, rock and roll is hard enough, but that is like, I think that takes the cake, some of that. I mean,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, definitely more in the like older days. Definitely the mid 90s is when it kind of started, or late 90s started.
There's a lot of weird parallels though.
Yeah.
There's so many eras.
Yeah, it's cool because I think like the parallels are there for anybody that does anything artistic, you know, and it's physical, but it's very artistic. They're telling stories, they're doing all that. And so like that kind of like is why we did this show anyway, was to talk with people who are artistic and doing things that they're passionate about. Yeah. Because talking to someone that's that passionate is infectious and inspiring. And so it's like, yeah, let's talk about, that's our whole "what's your bacon" thing. It's just like bacon makes everything better. Right. What in your life makes your life better? You know, like that thing.
Yeah, and it's weird too with, you know, people that don't have that creative outlet or just whatever that is, and you know, to be relatable. Sometimes, you know, you admire it because you're like, oh, you have, you know, you're good with just simple life.
You have a complete life. Yeah,
just making cookies and, you know, watching T-ball. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Punching in at 9, punching out at 5.
I tell people all the time because, you know, like as I'm sure you've heard and I've heard our entire lives growing up, it's kind of like, it's like, okay, what's your plan B? What's your thing? What's going to happen if you grow out of this and all this kind of stuff? And it's like, man, I don't do this because I like want to do it. I do this because I have to do it. Right? Yeah. If I don't do this, I lose my mind. Like this keeps me from driving off a bridge like this.
Yeah. This keeps me here.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's like you said, you see people that like don't have that for whatever reason or don't need that. And you kind of look at them and you go, man,
that's got to feel pretty good.
Good for you, man. I
got to mow the lawn today. It's like, well, I have a lawn service, thank God, for my like landlord, and so then I can go to the fucking studio, or you know, hang out with my kid or whatever. But and just, you know, but each their own. And but yeah, sometimes it's like, oh man, like what would that be like? And even like pandemic, you slow down, and you're like, you find some things which valid and was good, and I needed to slow down, but then like, you're like, oh, I'm not really doing anything. I have all this time, but it was more methodical and not like so forced. I felt like everything was just 1,000 miles an hour. Yeah. I was like, you're just on this train, you know, and you're with no stops, and you're like, oh God, finally. Not by choice, but
it's like, oh, you're forced to spend a portion of your life now acting instead of reacting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And for now, it's just like creatively, it's I feel like the best and easiest time because like, oh, I don't need to, but I have this, and let's just do this, and so that's really nice, and not having like, I just felt like we were always like behind the eight ball, which never were, and even for my solo stuff, like I just banked a bunch of songs, knowing like time goes pretty fast.
Yeah.
So if you release a song and then you don't have anything for a while, what are you doing? You know, and to stay constant, and like even for solo, I have Playing Head Games that came out 3 months ago, which for me is like way too damn long. But I had, you know, Throw the Fight as well, so I'm juggling. But you know, for me, it's just like needing to get that stuff out now versus like feeling forced to get that stuff out and release stuff. It's like you can do it more on your own terms, but like I said, it's just more methodical and like, oh, this song is better. I don't just have to release it just to play this fucking game.
Yeah, that's true. You can't, and that makes a lot of sense too, because you can plot out. I know for us, it was like we're doing the single thing too, and it went into like, okay, this one feels like a summer song.
Yeah.
Good thing we didn't put it out in November.
Yeah.
You know, like this one feels this way, and then it's kind of like, okay, this lends itself to this visual aesthetic. This lends itself to, if we're going to do a video, if we're going to do something, it lends itself to where we are right now, and and you can capitalize on things a little bit
and
better.
I feel like you can create like a whole ambiance of that song or whatever, whether it's the album cover, the imagery, whatever you're kind of doing, it has its own identity. Versus sometimes like you release a record and you got filler songs in there that you never see the light of day, and you're like, wait, there's some bangers in there. And unless you're like, you know, the trolls, and you're in there and you're like, oh, these are great, it's like, yeah, well, thank you. But you know, with singles, it's kind of like, you know, having their own identity, and
everything gets
this whole package, which is kind of cool. Everything tells a story.
Everything you can create a whole presentation behind the one.
I've enjoyed treating a song like a record, you know, like giving it the same kind of a release as you would a record. I've really enjoyed that, like especially with my solo stuff. I'm trying to do all the things with it, and then that's why I recently just changed from Kade Katz. I'm on Instagram for now more Throw the Fight to Kade Katz music, for, you know, they're different, and there needed to be that space. I mean, I lost followers, but who the fuck cares? You know, it's like I want who's gonna follow me, you know, and I don't be like, oh, I got to get these numbers up, whatever. But it was just like, oh fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Well, we were talking about
Instagram followers,
but also releasing things like it's a record and giving each thing its
own
song.
So I'm like trying to do all the things, like creating even like simple lyric videos, or just some sort of imagery to go with it. Like, I'm not talented by that, but I'm learning those things and teaching myself something of that element.
Fiverr is my friend. I go on Fiverr. I find really good artists that have done some great lyric videos for us.
Really? Fiverr? Okay.
Yeah. And like I promote them then on the page, on the sites, and then they promote the videos to their friends, and you know, it's a cool thing. You know, like we've had the same guy do 2 of our videos now.
Oh, gnarly!
It's super happy with it, and he's like really been cool. You can find all kinds of people to do, you know, lyric videos, animation. You know, like.
Yeah, I mean,
full animation, full
video,
editing,
you can dive definitely deep into, you know, all that. Like, the funny thing is, like, all the Kade Katz stuff is basically just like taking Throw the Fight money and funding that. You know, that's the machine. So, but you know, it's kind of cool just kind of digging into another creative element of, you know, I love doing Instagram stuff and like font stuff, whatever. Like, I'm a geek over that, but I can't draw or do anything crazy like that. But you know, each of my solo stuff, like either if it's a photo, like one of my bus buddies took it, or a buddy designed it, or I created that idea. Like a new one that's coming out, my fiance took of me in like Ireland, but it's just like a 6 shot, and I feel like it's just calming, and it's like fits the song, I guess, of like
Right.
happiness, I guess. But yeah, and just kind of doing that when, instead of like sending everything to a team and you're like, here's these graphic, merch designs, or
Right.
Which is great. I mean, I love that shit too, but trying to wear all the hats, as I think we said earlier, is really fun, but a lot of work.
But you learn a lot. You got a lot of new skills, but
and there's
so you don't get to master any of them because you're doing them all.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely,
it's never ending.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
On your fitness journey, extraordinary results require extraordinary action. Your training and quality of nutrition is definitely key, but adding a well-developed nutritional supplement protocol will push your results to the next level. And that's where Legacy Sports Nutrition comes in. Legacy Sports Nutrition believes that everything you want to achieve in life can be aided by optimizing human performance. All of their formulas have been professionally developed for both men and women and are made to the highest quality standards. Legacy Sports Nutrition is a brand founded and operated by athletes who have been performing at world-class levels for decades. And when I say athletes who perform at world-class levels, I truly mean it. This is NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis's company, so you know these items are absolutely championship quality. Go to LegacySups.com and use the promo code BACONPOD, and you'll receive 10% off your order. Once again, that's LegacySups.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD for 10% off your order. Set your goals, push your limits, and leave your legacy.
Hi, this is Annie Stoic from Jackknife Stiletto, and you are consuming the Bacon is My podcast. Back to you, Jimmy and Mike.
So what do you do? I was going to ask, besides, it doesn't sound like you are ever at a loss of inspiration musically. It seems like you're pretty much able to like just write all the time.
Yeah, I try to work that muscle all the time.
Yeah, and but you've got a band, you've got a solo project, you've got a new child, you've got a family, you've got a day job, you've got like all these things going on. What is there anything besides music that you do to like shut the brain off as a distraction? Are you an avid reader? Are you a movie buff? Are you a video game guy? Are you like, what are some other things that you do? Or is it like, is music your thing? And that's
no, I mean, that's a lot of it.
Right.
That's been my, that's the first, but I love to cook. I'm huge into cooking.
Nice.
Both my fiance and I we just love cooking. Reading, I read a ton. Usually memoirs about rock stars and shit like that.
I love them, dude.
I can't get enough. I listen to a ton of podcasts. I love, I work out pretty much daily. So that's, mental health and everything. And just going on walks, being in nature. That's probably like how I usually chill out. Just ask my fiance. She's just like, okay, let's go for a walk. You need to chill the fuck out. I'm go. And then I've got a 1-year-old.
You need to not stare at a screen. You need to not hold a guitar. You need to get out.
Just even, in your head, and you're just thinking things or whatever. And I mean, she's a creative soul as well. So I get it. There's definitely times where, we got the best relationship where she'll look at me and it's like, yeah, go paint, go do it, go write, whatever. You have those like,
she's
a volcano. It's like a volcano.
She's a visual artist, correct? Like painter.
Yeah, she paints. She does poetry, photography. I mean,
nice.
Crazy talents. I play music. That's and some of like you said that I'm a master of none of them. Like I know enough to get somewhere.
Yeah. Awesome. Enough to put a good T-shirt out. Enough to put a good.
I feel so strong about this fucking song. I'm gonna put a T-shirt out.
You should see this flyer I made. Well, that's, essentially, isn't that what we all were for such a long time? We're traveling T-shirt salesmen.
Yep, it's said over and over and over again.
We've got an hour full of 3-minute commercials for our T-shirts.
Yeah,
please go get them after the show. And for those of you that got something out of the song, we will forever be connected.
Please.
The rest of you, please.
Please say that next time live. I mean, it's so honest. You know, you finish a show and then you jump off stage. You're like, what do we sell? What do we do in merch?
Yeah, we're gonna meet you over by the merch booth because that's what this was for.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's like one of my favorite parts too. And with shows coming back, it was like, how's this gonna work? You know, but
I'm in that right now. Yeah, I've got that going on.
But we just played with Beartooth and Wage War, and amazing show, amazing turnout. The crowd was so responsive to us, and just like people like coming up to you and being like, "Hey," you know, and then we're like, "Go to the merch," and you know, you're just slinging your stuff, but you know, it's still what it takes, and you know, not everyone has to buy your T-shirt, and you're like, "Oh my God," you know, you give a shit enough to invest some way,
right?
You know, but you know, the big thing is in like follow us. You know, that's the gift that keeps on giving, is that you know that streaming. You know, that T-shirt's dead as it walks off.
I appreciate that you bought my CD and that you're going to tell me in a year that it's still on the floor of your car. But please follow us.
Your car that doesn't even have a CD player.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I've sold so many CDs to people that don't own CD players, and I'm like, just don't buy it then. Like, just follow us. Listen, it's all on Spotify.
Yeah, we just sign them, and we actually do pretty well. If like, you know, we're just like, hey, we'll sign them. We're always at the merch, and you know, it's just one thing that we've always done and love. And you hear it over and over again, and you know, oh, where's the other bands, or when are they coming out? And you're like, that doesn't happen really. And this is, you know, we're hustlers and it works. You know, we toured with All That Remains, and after every show, it's like middle of winter in Canada, sucked. And I'm out there slinging CDs that we pre-signed, and we're just like $20. And, you know, nobody had a CD player, but you know, you're like, hey, it was signed, whatever. And
well, hey, it's signed. I like something. The band. And the dude from the band is out here, so like that's awesome, and that creates a connect. Like, I mean, that's what like. We can joke about the T-shirt thing and everything, but it's all connection. It's all just trying to make some kind of connection and be like, you know, we're all love me. You know, we're all that. You know? And so it's like still trying to kind of create that, and that's one way to do it. Like, the hustle's there, man. You absolutely have to. You know, like I tell my band, I've told every band I've ever been in, I'm like, okay, guys, so. Any show, we're the first to show up and we're the last to leave. We're the last people out the door. That's just how I do it. If you ride with me, that's how long you're going to be there. Yeah. You know, like that's, if we're on tour, we're the last to leave, even if we got to go somewhere. Like
it's the thing. It's a thing. You know,
you have to, because the people that are there to see you are the most important thing.
Right.
You know? And so as many of them as if you want to come up to us and say something nice.
Yeah, you should.
Or if you want to come up to us and say something mean, come up to us and
I love
I'll
that.
take it.
Yeah, you use tracks. Yeah. Oh, you caught that? Yeah, we did. Oh, okay. It's like, no, I didn't know that.
Good ears, bro. Nice. You're really good at that.
Well, speaking of the hustle,
speaking
of the commercials, we have a sponsor.
We do.
We got to pay the bills. We got to feed the meter,
and we're going to include you in it right now.
Yes, because you haven't answered enough questions. We will now make you pick from one of the pod decks. So Pod Decks is a really cool company. They were our very first sponsor when we started this bad boy. And they're a lot like Cards Against Humanity, more like PG.
Yeah, they're rated. Cards Against Humanity.
You can still give spicy answers.
Oh, my fiance and I play that all the time.
Yeah,
we just buy decks all the time. It's ridiculous.
It's very similar, but it's the idea is they put it out there for podcasters because so many people are becoming podcasters, but some of them aren't able to, you know, just verbally vomit like we are, the verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
They comes out so naturally.
Exactly. Doesn't it? It's just amazing how it flows. So they put out these cards for people, and it helps them with like episode ideas, interview question ideas, icebreakers, all that kind of stuff. Very cool company, poddecks.com. If you go there, they have cool swag. They got all the decks. If you use promo code BACON,
because everything is better with bacon,
you get 10% off your entire order. And so what we're going to do now is we are going to have you choose one of the decks, and we will ask you a random question from said deck.
Yes. So There is the episode deck, the interview deck 2, what the heck, and would you rather?
Yes.
Let's go with the black one.
Black one it is.
That is the interview deck 1.
Interview deck 1.
And I will be shuffling them.
Mike will be shuffling because we can joke about it all we want. Everybody can send me all your hate. Send me your hate. I feed on it. I lived in Vegas and I can't shuffle. Whatever, man.
Who cares?
You don't like it? Keyboard me. Keyboard me.
All
right in the face. I don't care.
Wait, hold on.
I get very angry.
Whack.
Wouldn't be the first act of violence on this show.
Would not be.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So he's fanning them out. For those of you that are listening and can't see this, I'm going to take my fingy and I'm going to go from my left to the right, your right to the left, and you just tell me when to stop, and we will pick a random question for you.
Let's stop.
Okay. This is an easy one, so I'm going to ask. I'm going to adjust the question. I'll let you do it both ways. But the question is, what characteristic are you most known for? And I think that's kind of a given.
Yeah.
So I will say, what characteristic are you not known for that would surprise people?
A complete goofball. Yeah, constantly just being a goofball, especially around my kid and my girlfriend. She's just like, man, you were goofy sometimes. Like, I did not think you were like this. So yeah, I just like to have fun and, fuck around.
Nice. I also wanted to ask you a cooking question, since you said you like that. If someone's coming over for the very first time and you're making dinner, what's your go-to? What's your thing that says, like, hey, this is who I am? And
I usually roll with I'll grill a steak. I'm huge with doing something nice like that. Shrimp, I'm huge into and then doing a calamari, and usually I don't know whether it's mashed potatoes or kale or some veg or something like that, or roasted carrots, nice. Something like that. I don't know. I eat
kind of steakhouse meal.
I eat pretty clean and healthy, and but yeah, I don't know. I think funny enough, I didn't even mean to do it, but it's inherited. But my grandfather used to cook these gnarly steaks, and then my mom kind of started doing it, and I was just I feel like these are the best steaks I always have. It's just that home thing. And I was like, I need to learn how to make these gnarly steaks. And
what's your method?
I mean, just, I have a Weber, so,
charcoal or gas?
Gas.
All right.
We can't have charcoal here. I'm too close in the cities. Okay. I can't even have a fire pit where I'm at right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But, yeah, and then just, I don't know, sizzle, lots of butter, salt and pepper, just pretty basic, but it's just usually got to be that cut of meat and cooked with love, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Dude, simple is best.
What's your cut of meat, though?
Usually a ribeye or a filet or, New York strip, any of them. It depends on who I'm cooking for and what I'm all about.
I recently got into ribeye over the past maybe 2 or 3 years, and that's
usually my go-to.
That's my jam.
Yeah, I used to order them at steak houses, but occasionally they'd come out too fatty. And then I found if you buy them yourself and you go to the butcher and you get them and everything and you cook them right, they're perfect.
No. Yeah.
A ribeye. I recently because I saw a YouTube video that did it. Where they were like, oh, you can grind your own meat for a hamburger in a food processor. And I was like, oh, can you? I'm going to try this out. Yeah. So I bought a ribeye and I was like, I'm going to make a ribeye burger.
Yeah.
And dude, it made a difference. It was ridiculously good. Yeah. I didn't think it was going to. I thought it was bullshit. I was like, I filmed it for our Patreon, and we do we do cooking episodes and we do tasting ones where we eat either horrible or great things. Yeah. So I did a video for it because I was like, I'm going to prove that this is bullshit. I'm going to prove it. This is crap. And I made it and I was like, this is really good, guys.
It was funny. It was
I just proved myself wrong.
He showed me pictures of it because I in my mind, I'm thinking
It's gonna be mush.
It would look like pork or something.
It doesn't. You put it, you cube it, and then you throw it in the freezer for like 25 minutes.
Okay.
So it's still pretty solid. So then when you throw it in the food processor, it gets very like pebbly, you know, like almost grainy, like
oh, weird,
like tiny rocks, right?
Yeah.
Which is perfect when you go to make the burger. You kind of make it loose and everything, and it's oh my god,
wow.
Like,
it's surprising that like restaurants don't roll with that. Like I love like going to a restaurant and getting like a steak sandwich or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like one of my go-tos. And yeah, to grind it up or whatever, that's a game changer.
Yeah, dude, my brain is now going like, I want to try ribeye and short rib mixed. I want to do like a fatty and like a lean together.
Start a food truck doing that.
Yeah, right.
We've talked about it.
We've talked about it. We both also love cooking.
I'm in. Yeah. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, you're invited. You're a part of it. We love cooking too, so it's like Eddie.
It's just great. Talk about that. It's just great. I mean, it's therapeutic. It brings like everything together, and I don't know. I'm old school, and there's just something to be said about it every time. And we cook a lot. I mean,
yeah.
We used to go to dinners, and I'm a huge foodie, and I love all that stuff. But I mean, just recently, last weekend, we had like a weekend getaway, and we went to this restaurant, and I was like, got great reviews and all this stuff, and we ordered a lot of money worth of food, and dude, we made better stuff at home on a Wednesday. And I was just like so let down, but then I was like, hey, well, there's something to be said, like at least we're cooking good and eating good and all that. And it's like, it's okay, like I don't have to go out all the time. Like we'll go out for occasion. We have our go-tos that we know that are awesome. But it's just, I don't know, it's just something that, I mean, we just wrote like a whole fall list of things that we want to make, and it's kind of like our thing. And we're trying to get our little kid involved. She just loves watching all of it and stuff like that too. So just showing her all the creative elements and how it's real life. So you're gonna always have to do this.
That's true.
It's like taking out the trash. So get used to this.
Well, it's super, like, I find it to be like, it's super zen to begin with when you're doing it, because you can kind of just get lost in it because you're smelling things and you're, like all your senses are involved.
Yeah.
But then I also get this sense of accomplishment, this immediate accomplishment afterwards, especially if like you eat it and it's just, it's
validation.
Banging. You're like,
all right. Validation and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, which is awesome.
I will say, if you're going to bring your child into the mix when they're a little older, when you're like pushing the chair up to the counter and stuff, that gets real old real quick. Because whatever it was that you were making, make sure you make double, because most of it ends up everywhere else.
Oh, right. They waste so much goddamn food. It's unbelievable. Just wait. I'm done with this. I'm like, what are you, a cat? Everything just.
Well, see, never.
I'm done. Floor
with a baby. With a baby, when you're talking about that, never give them quinoa.
Oh no.
You can't clean it up. You need to wait until it dries, and then you can sweep it up. But otherwise, you're screwed.
Yeah,
you're absolutely screwed.
I usually don't roll with that stuff, but that'd be a mess. I mean, every day it's something.
We tried that with my daughter, and it was biggest mistake ever.
I don't have any
parenting
kids.
Fail.
I have a dog.
Yeah, that's probably next. As soon as she says, the sentence, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It all.
I bring it home, and it's like, oh, you weren't serious? God damn it!
Right.
No, but I will say, parenthood is fun. It's the most challenging yet rewarding job you can ever have.
It is wild. It is. It is wild.
You guys are on the record with that. Good. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Made your mark, bro.
Exactly.
I can say that non-parenthood is awesome.
Yeah, I did that for a long time, and it did not suck.
I mean, everybody gets to do it for a very long period of time.
Dude, it's a gamble. I get my fiance asks me all the time, like, are you sure? Like, how did you not have kids? You don't have kids? I'm like, I just turned 40, so she's like, what the fuck?
I've been asked that a couple times.
Yeah. Well,
do you have any children? I don't. Are you sure? Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Well, the kids are fun. They're fun when they get a little older too. And
I love your kids. Your kids are awesome.
Yeah, my kids are.
I love
good.
coming to visit them and hang out, riling them up, and then leave.
Yeah, and leave.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Birthday? I'm here with pixie sticks. I'm here.
Yeah, he actually did bring pixie sticks once, and I was like, "Wow,
yeah,
I hate you."
Yeah.
Wow, straight to the dome.
Yeah, he's Jimmy Tattoo. He's the kid's Jimmy Tattoo.
Jimmy Tattoo.
That's awesome.
All right, Kade. So we want to thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much
for
hanging out. And,
hope you had fun.
Yep.
I've been laughing my ass off.
Good.
So where can the people find you, your solo music, your band, all that good jazz?
All right, Instagram, Kade Katz. At Kade Katz. At Kade Katz Music. And then kadekatz.com and then throwthefight.com. All the socials are on there. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, all the things, whatever you listen to, wherever you want to stream your music and do your thing. We're all over it. Look for new releases from my solo project coming October 1st. Better Days, written about after having my child, actually. It's one of those moody ones, but it's pretty dope. And then another one shortly followed up with that. And then new Throw the Fight, September 24th, new song, Wake Up. It hits. It's we get after it on this one. It was fun.
Nice.
It's fun. And I think we're just going to do a visual for this one. You know, we've got Jeff, our drummer. He was just here for like weeks because of shows. And then he flew back to Florida. And to get him back and forth and shoot a video, it's like, it's not going to work. But I mean, if the song does fairly decent, we can always drop something later on. We kind of want to see where the song goes and put some money behind the song versus a straight up visual right now. So you know, trying new things out. You know, we just believe in the song, so we're like, might as well put money behind the song.
Sweet,
awesome.
It's a beautiful thing.
Well, everybody, definitely check out the solo project. Check out Throw the Fight. Check out Kade Katz, and I'll thank you. We will thank you from the podcast in advance for listening to the music and sharing and following and becoming a fan. And they're trying all kinds of new stuff, and they are putting out new music pretty often. So you should probably follow the band and follow.
Keep up on that.
Yeah, if you want new stuff, check us out. Both things.
Stick with them. Kade, thank you for hanging with us. We appreciate it very much. And
thank you guys so much.
Listening, remember to ask yourself every day, what makes your life better? What makes your life amazing?
What is the one thing that is your bacon? That was too much, right?
That's a lot. That's a lot. What's your bacon?
Yeah.
So that was awesome. Good interview.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
He's super cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it a lot. All right. Where can we find you on the webs, on the interwebs, on the internet?
Well, probably here.
Here's one place.
Where
are we right now? Some of you are watching on strangerhoodtv.com, which is also our YouTube page /strangerhoodtv.
Yeah.
Some of you are listening on any number of streaming sites, like Apple Music or Spotify. If you are on Apple Music, just give us that 5-star review so that you know, the algorithm works. Where else can they find you?
Okay, so me personally, you can find me at my own self, Mike, on all of the socials, the Instagrams, the Twitters, and the Facebook. You can also find my band, Something Heavy, at Something Heavy Music, on all the socials as well. And that's not my only musical endeavor. My other musical endeavor is Bacon Is My Passion, with this fine young gentleman, James.
Indeed.
And you can hear it.
You can hear it
on Spotify's, the Apple Music's, all of that.
Yeah,
all of that. Deezer,
yeah. Deezer,
yeah. Tidal, Beats Music. I think you can use our music for TikTok as well.
I believe it's on there. Yeah. I think I found it for something.
Yeah,
I believe I did.
Yeah. What about you, Jimmy?
I am Jimmy G Shoes. One word. Jimmy G Shoes. On Twitter, on Instagram, And then you can find me on Facebook. Check out my band on all that stuff. Craving Strange on everything except Facebook, where we're Craving Strange Music, and cravingstrange.net.
Yeah,
you can find us there. And right now, apparently, you can maybe find us at a venue near you,
possibly,
because we're kind of back doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out and come say hi. And if you come say hi to me at a show and you ask me what my bacon is, I will give you 10% off of anything you buy at the merch table.
Oh, there you go. A little incentive.
And if you come to me with a Bacon is My Passion or Bacon is My Podcast t-shirt, we will take a photo and we will put it on the website, and I will still give you a discount at the merch table.
There we go. There we go.
Because that's awesome.
And I mean, if you want to follow the show and all of our happenings and what's going on, it's everything at Bacon is My Pod.
Correct.
So, Jimsy, another week, another fine episode.
Indeed. This was fun.
What are we going to do next week? Probably things and stuff, right?
Things and stuff. And maybe some stuff and things.
I like that. I like that.
All right.
But something I know we're going to do.
What's that?
Next week.
Mm-hmm.
And every day in between this week and that, or today and that day.
What are we going to do, brother?
We're going to ask one question.
Yeah? What you going to ask, brother?
You tell them.
What's your bacon?
Was that a question or a statement?
Oh, goddamn, it's everything. It's the answer to the bonus question no one was asked.
Yeah.
What's your bacon? What's your bacon?
You love your weekly dose of Bacon is My Podcast, but you need even more bacon. Well, just go over to baconismypodcast.com. You can engage even more with us over there. It's a pathway to our music, extra content, our social media pages. Most importantly, grab yourself some pretty sweet swag and put it all over your body parts. Again, that's baconismypodcast.com. Listen to some tunes, pick up some merch, and tell us, what's your bacon?